Okay, so let's come back to our second session, which will be continue from our first session, that is going to talk about Hangout 6, and right now we are going to move on with grammar classes 3, right? So I believe that everyone is ready or will be done with your lessons, and especially you are ready with your study material that is going to be next to you as well, okay? Right, so today we are going to continue our lessons, which will be talking about grammar classes 3, and in grammar classes 3 we will continue or move forward with the other new lessons, okay? So everyone, I would like you to open your book on page 30 altogether. So on page 30, you are going to know about one more lessons. So the lesson is that in Unit 6, I'll help you. This is going to be talking about the future tense, which will be comparing with be going to and will, okay? So before we move on forward with comparing with future simple with will versus with be going to, I would like to give you a short clarification related to the form, or we can say the way of creating a sentence according to the form of each form first, okay? So after you have finished, already done with everything that is going to be related to be going to and will be continuing or moving up with our verses that is going to talk about will versus with be going to, okay? Right, so the first one we are going to talk about future with will, okay? So future will, the first one is going to talk about the positive negative question. However, remember that, okay, if you want to make the sentence according to the future with will, it will be easy for you. You just create a sentence, follow the form in here, okay? Likely our form is going to be positive. We have subject plus will plus verb 1 and blah blah, okay? So in here we can say that this is the way that we are going to create a sentence, the way how we create a sentence up. However, if we know, we recognize this one easily, it will be the way that we are going to understand about how to make a sentence with future will and future be going to, okay? Right, so like example, she will drive car, okay? In negative, subject plus will plus not plus verb 1 and blah blah. And our example, I will not drive car. Question, will subject verb 1 object question mark, okay, or blah blah question mark. Will you drive car? So this is maybe very easy for you because of what, okay? As the previous lesson, you have learned, you have known about past participle of verb 3, right? And right now in the second session, you are going to be just using only verb 1. So verb 1 is a verb in present. You can get or open your book on that page that I have mentioned in the first session, and will be ready for you to get all those kind of verbs in order to make the sentence with will as well, okay? Right, so this is just only the way, okay, how we create the sentences. Got it, everyone? Okay, so the next one will be talking about the future be going to. In the future be going to, we have three formula the same, okay? So the first one is positive negative question. In positive, we have subject plus be going to plus verb 1 and blah blah, okay? Like example, I'm going to speak English. Okay, in negative, subject plus be not going to plus verb 1 blah blah. She isn't going to study. And question, to be subject going to plus verb 1 blah blah and question mark. Are you going to walk to school? So remember that the word be here, okay? The word be here, it will be focusing about to be. So the to be that we are focusing is about am, is, are, okay? So these are the words that is going to be created in the sentences that everyone will be recognized using about all those kind of verbs in order to be making the sentences of be going to. So be here, remember be here will focus about am, is, and are, okay? Don't forget about this kind of verb. So this kind of word will be recognizing are using about future with be going to, okay? Right. So however, the two sides of the board here, it will be focusing about the form, okay, or the way that you are going to create the sentences. However, everyone, let's start or let's move our lessons that is going to focus about the book lessons that it will be talking about the verses between will and be going to. So right now you are going to know about the differences about using will and the differences using be begin to. Okay, so let's look at the board that have point here. You can see that future will versus future begin to. Okay, so in here it will be focusing on the form. So the form it might be very different, right? However, the meaning is going to be the same, talking about the future times. However, the definition will be different in here that help you to know, okay, about what, right? About the differences between future activity happening or not happening. So the first one will talking about future facts, okay, and begin to also talking about future facts. So in here, it might be very easy. Do not think to be complicated, okay? You just make a simple sentence about will and begin to. It will be finished that those sentences will focus about future fact, okay? So it might be easy, like example, I will go to school tomorrow. I am going to school tomorrow. Oh, sorry, this one is not I am going to school. I am going to go to school, okay, tomorrow, okay? So this is the sentence is the right sentence that is related to begin to. At the moment I have a little confused, okay? So don't be mind about this one. So like example here, okay? So it doesn't matter whenever you create a sentence according to the form of this one, we call those activity of the sentence will be focusing about the future fact, okay? Right. So in the next one, that is going to talk about the plans made while speaking. One plan made before speaking. So do you know while speaking and before speaking, how is it different? Right. So while speaking, it means that it's warm here. I'll open the window. So that's why it's talking about your activity now and you want to do in the next now. Okay? You do not think, you don't have any thinking about any plans, but when you do this activity, you do it. You said that you will do it. So this activity, it might be happen or not, it depends on you. Okay? Right. So in here, like I can say that I am teaching English. I will teach you about grammar. Right. So how? Okay? Because of what? I teach you in hangout, but why I want to teach you in grammar? It's so different, right? So that's why we can say that the plans that are made while speaking. Okay? Or the real example like that. Okay, in here, I am teaching grammar class 3. I will teach you about listening expressly, right? So this is the plan that I have made before my thinking. I have no thinking about anything else. I just speak it out about what is my plan that I'm going to do. Okay, right? But when you focus about plans made before speaking, like I said that I bought my books, I'm going to study. So this is talking about the planning you have already done, what thing that have done, and then what are you going to do with that thing. Okay, so that's why if you talk about plan made while speaking, it means that you just do anything that what you want to do in the future, you just say it out, okay? But in here, before you say it out, you have to think in advance, what will you do with that one, okay? A like example, I buy grammar class 3. I am going to study, right? Okay, and one more example you will, okay. I study, okay, hangout 6. I will buy grammar class 3. How is it different, right? Okay, so one is that I buy grammar class 3, I am going to study it. One more is that I buy hangout 6, I will study grammar class 3. So it might be very different, right? So that's why we can say that one made no thinking. Okay, we do not think any problems, any idea that we want to do in the future, we just speak it out. And the second one begin to talking about before you do it, you have already thought about that activity. Okay, you got it, everyone? So this one, do without thinking, do with thinking in advance. Okay, so that's why this is the way we are going to be versus with will and begin to. However, everyone, if you have any question, you can drop a question. However, more explanation will help you to get more ideas related to will and begin to. Okay, so to sum up, it means that future facts, both of this form or both of these tense will focus about every activity in the future times. Okay. However, when you talk about planning, will plan without thinking. Begin to plan with thinking. Okay. So in here, no thinking, just plan it. But here, before planning, I mean plan made before speaking. Okay. Right. So this is a short brief to all of you, and hope that you are going to get understanding. And everyone, I will say goodbye and see you in the next video tomorrow. Goodbye.